Hey guys, what's up? I just saw Earwig and the Witch. I just wanted to, take time and talk about it and tell you my personal opinions of it. The movie was not great, but since I did enjoy it in empty theater, it didn't make the experience a lot more enjoyable, but not enough to change my opinion on it. Earwig and the Bitch. That was an accident. Earwig and the Witch is the newest and 23rd production by Studio Ghibli. This is Goro Miyazaki's third directed movie that he's done in Ghibli. It follows the story of Earwig, a girl that was left at an orphanage by a mysterious red-headed witch and then is later adopted by a pair of witches that have a lot of mystery involved in their house. First thing I want to mention about this movie is the CG and how distracting it is. Granted, it's not necessarily the movie's fault, but at every second the movie kept happening, the thought of what if the movie was in 2D kept lurking in my head. Especially because of how used I am to Ghibli's animation style, but again, not the movie's fault. Now, the animation in the movie would sometimes look really great, especially that opening scene. That was really good and looked really colorful and pretty. The facial expressions in this movie did help a lot to connect and understand the characters, especially Earwig, and sometimes even the Mandrake. He was really well done too. The use of her eyebrows show how much of a piece of shit Earwig was. It was really enjoyable too. Like, her character was really funny, and I don't think it would have been as funny without those facial expressions. At times, some of the characters did not look great per se, or even good. They looked like they got scorched by a flamethrower. Mostly Earwig's friends, like Custard, which ended up being like the most fitting name possible. There's a scene where Earwig grabs a picture of Custard, and it looks goddamn awful. Like, his face is so terrible. It looks like a Code Lyoko character. Now, the main plot of this movie is that Earwig was left in this orphanage, and after years of spending there manipulating everybody and just having her way, she gets adopted by his two witches. One of them is called Mandrake, who is personally my favorite character in the movie. He's got a lot of mystery and just cool aura about him. He kind of starts off creepy and weird, but honestly, as more goes on, you kind of learn more about him and how charming he can be. Then you have Bella Yaga, who kind of doesn't really change throughout the movie. They take them to their house, and this, I guess, becomes the main plot of the movie, kind of Earwig getting her manipulative personality back, which is a very frustrating aspect of the movie for me, because I swear for the most of the movie, she does not learn a lesson. At the same time, this movie has this one main problem where it starts the third arc, and then it just ends. I have no idea what the development of this movie was. I don't know if it was affected by COVID or not, but this movie felt very rushed. They didn't have a satisfying ending. It just kind of felt like it finally reached that third arc after so much buildup about this whole backstory about her band and something about Coven of Witches and whatever, and then it just ends. You don't get any payoff for it. That's my spoiler-free part. So Earwig finds out that the Mandrake and Bella Yaga used to be in a band with the red-haired lady that dropped her off at the orphanage, which, by the way, she has no name in IMDb apart from Earwig's mom, so I guess there you go, she's Earwig's mom. And in the movie, they never say this. I feel like that should have been an important plot point in the movie. Also, after Earwig finds out they're in a band, they drop this entire backstory of how the red-haired lady was part of their band and how she left them to be a part of the coven. I don't understand why they dropped this, since they never mentioned it for the entire movie. There's never a plot with the coven or them fighting it or something. I thought there was gonna be a climax or something involving the coven, but no, just once they dropped all this information on you, the movie just ends. Earwig just gets her way. She thinks about Custard, and then boom, literally a scene, they knock the door, it's red-haired lady. But the thing is, I thought it was oh, this is the third arc, right? This is where the movie's supposed to begin its conclusion, but no, it just ends. It felt rushed and unsatisfying. I feel like they would have ended the story with just Earwig pestering Bella Yaga earlier and then had gone into the band plot sooner. This would have not been an issue, and maybe even give answers as to why the red-haired lady left the band in the first place, instead of just there's a coven that can't control me, or why did she leave Earwig in the orphanage? There's nothing. There's so many answers in this movie that are not resolved. If you love Ghibli movies, I would recommend this movie still, if you're a fan of the studio itself. But I wouldn't recommend spending $30 on 2 tickets. This would be just better off watching it on HBO Max and enjoy it like that. This movie was more of a miss than anything. A very unfortunate miss, especially since they're trying out this 3D CG thing, and I don't think it did them any good. So that's my review for Earwig and the Witch. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And yeah, don't watch Earwig and the Witch in the theaters. Love you, bye.